Hi everyone, my name is Michael. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so this is something I didn't expect to be saying, but Donald Trump is right. And, and I actually didn't expect to be saying it about more than one thing, but he said something earlier today, which I've been saying over and over again. Uh, he said, you know, that these people, he was talking about Rubio, but he means all these people in the Congress are trying to march us into war with Russia, march us into World War III. And, I was very surprised he said that.
Think of it. General Douglas MacArthur, I considered him a great general. General Patton, George Patton. They listen to all these clowns, these guys like Rubio, wanting to know every little detail about how we're going to fight the enemy, they're spitting in their grave. We're going to go into Syria, and then we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. And then he'll say, and we're going to fight Russia. And by the way, Russia wants to kill ISIS because they have a bigger problem than we do with ISIS. So then we're going to go in and we're going to start World War III by fighting Russia over Syria. This is the kind of people we have running the country. He's a kid.
He was talking about Rubio, but he means all these people in the Congress are trying to march us into war with Russia, march us into World War III. And I was very surprised he said that. He really should talk more about stuff like that, and he would get a lot more people behind him. But what he's really right about is that the mainstream media, not just Fox News, but the mainstream media altogether, is not treating him fairly. And they think that they can get away with that. Beyond they think that they can get away with that, this person that interviewed him this morning made clear that they think that he can't win the election without them.
Mr. Trump, very quickly, back to Fox News for a second. Don't you need Fox News viewers and Fox News to win the primary?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I really don't know. I'm on 60 Minutes on Sunday.
This person that interviewed him this morning made clear that they think that he can't win the election without them. Now, here's the deal. I don't think that he's an actual genuine candidate. But that doesn't mean that they shouldn't treat him like one and treat him fairly like any other candidate that may be the next commander-in-chief that they would like to have an interview with when he's president, because they're not treating him that way. They're treating him like a sideshow clown. And there's some really clear evidence of that. I think the best evidence really is from the CNN debate when they asked the candidates, would you trust Donald Trump to have his finger on the nuclear button?
Governor Bush, would you be comfortable with Donald Trump's finger on the nuclear codes?
I think the voters will make that determination, but what I know to be true is that the next president of the United States is going to have to fix an extraordinarily difficult situation. This administration, with President Obama and Hillary Clinton, has created insecurity, the likes of which we never would have imagined. There's not a place in the world where we're better off today than 6.5 years ago.
I think the best evidence really is from the CNN debate when they asked the candidates, would you trust Donald Trump to have his finger on the nuclear button, right? Which they said his finger on the nuclear codes, which I don't know how you have your finger on the nuclear codes. But, the question is, do you trust Donald Trump to have his finger on the nuclear button? And the reason that's an unfair question is because you should be asked about all the candidates if you're going to ask a question like that. But truthfully, if you're only going to ask about one candidate, Jeb Bush, it should have been asked about Jeb Bush. Do you trust Jeb Bush, who is an original signee of a Project for a New American Century document in which they call or explicitly state that all that's needed for the new American century to begin is a Pearl Harbor style terrorist attack. And then shortly after Jeb Bush's brother became president, lo and behold, there was a Pearl Harbor style attack on America. Go figure. So, should we really trust Jeb Bush to have his finger on the nuclear button when it's clear that he's just a war profiteer and owned by war profiteers and warmongers? I really hope, I wish that Donald would go after the media just a whole lot more wholeheartedly, because it's not just, it's not just Marco Rubio and Congress who's pushing for this war with Russia. The media is out of control pushing for the war, and the truth is that that's illegal. That's war propaganda, which they intend to profiteer from as much as possible. Unbelievable amounts, and it's a war crime. Actually, war propaganda is a war crime, and we've executed people for it before. So that's who all you people in the media are, so you know. And Donald Trump is right. And one more thing about Donald Trump being right is last night's South Park episode, spoiler alert, if you don't want to know what happened, you can pause the video here and then go watch last night's episode of South Park. On the South Park Studios, which there is a direct link to last night's episode in the text body of this video. If you go to the text body, you'll see it says South Park Studios. Click on that, and it'll go straight to last night's episode, in which a Donald Trump character gets fucked to death. In a very brutal fashion. He repeatedly, Mr. Garrison mounts him and literally fucks him while he beats him to death. It was, and that's, again, this is the media. South Park is definitely part of the media, and I love those guys. The thing is, I absolutely 100% Trey and Matt, I challenge you to do the same thing to Carly Fiorina. Whatever her fuckface name is, because you won't do it to her. You would never fuck Carly Fiorina character to death on your program, brutally punching her in the back of the head while you raped her to death. You would never do that. But somehow it's okay with Donald Trump. The South Park episode is all about, it's basically just a really stark warning about the fact that Donald Trump could become president and what would happen, what they believe their vision of a Donald Trump presidency would look like. So if you want to watch that South Park episode, it is, there's a link to it directly to that episode in the text body of this video, and that episode will be live for about 2 weeks after this video is published. And then it won't be live anymore for like a year or 6 months or something. So but Donald Trump's right. The media is completely unfair. He should be calling them out as war propagandists and war profiteers. But then there's this douche that interviewed him earlier this morning who made clear, you can't win without Fox News, can you?
Mr. Trump, very quickly, back to Fox News for a second. Don't you need Fox News viewers and Fox News to win the primary?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I really don't know. I'm on 60 Minutes on Sunday.
You can't win without Fox News, can you? What she's saying is you can't win without the news media, can you? Because we're the ones who say are legitimate candidates. We decide who's going to be president, not the voters, not you. Because that's the kind of fucking scumbags, war profiteer, war propagandists these are. Egomaniacs. And we'll have to talk a little more about them real soon. Okay? Thanks very much for tuning in. And, I do this because I don't know. I wanted to make a difference in the world. I really care about this planet. I really care about the future of this race. And it's headed a very, very bad place. And that was what this work was all about from the beginning, was trying to steer it another direction where we can all kind of have a paradise that we share, because that's the way it's intended to be. And unfortunately, war profiteers see it differently. So that's where I stand. And I hope some of you stand with me. Again, thanks. And one of these days, this war is going to end. Hopefully. Stay cool till that day. Oh. All right, there was one more thing I wanted to say, which was my favorite part of South Park's episode last night was when the Canadians found out that the president has been fucked to death, right? Has been brutally fucked to death. And the guy's neighbor comes over to tell me, he says, the president has been brutally fucked to death. And there's a guy across the street, and he's like, yes, yes. And it's like the most heartfelt, like, you know, our team just won the Super Bowl. He kind of, yes, kind of like, oh, overwhelmingly joyous. Yes, 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 this is what we've all been waiting for. And I keep thinking, you know, if the news was to come on tomorrow morning and say, every member of Congress has been brutally fucked to death, that the whole United States would just stand up and go, yes, there is a God. There is a God, yes. Because that's what we deserve. That's what they deserve. Every single one of them. It's what you deserve. Because you all knew about that stuff that's going on in Afghanistan with the child rape. You all know about it. And you didn't say a word. You all know. And you didn't say a word. Protecting child rapists. Someone think of the children. The scumbags in the Pentagon, the scumbags in Congress, deserve more than anybody on the planet to be brutally fucked to death. It's the truth. Brutally, brutally fucked to death. Every single one of you. Because you all knew about this shit with the kids in Afghanistan, little boys being raped on U.S. bases. You all know about it. You all, every single one of you. That's the kind of scumbag. And you so believe in God, huh? You so believe in someone think of the children. We have to protect the children of Afghanistan. Brutally fucked to death. And the people of America would say, yes, yes, there is a God. So thanks for that, South Park, because I really enjoyed that. That was hilarious. And that's immediately what I thought was, you know, that's how we would all respond if that's what happened to Congress. To every single member of Congress. Yes! Yes, there is a God! That's what you deserve. And believe it or not, it is coming your way. Thanks again. Stay cool.
I'm the leading state sponsor of terrorism.